Hello and welcome back to the Power of Thought series, in which we explore the art of creating the thoughts that can make a difference. And today we are talking about the art of positive thinking, and today we have a special guest with us, a special speaker, Sister Mira. Welcome back to this episode.
Thank you.
And today we are going to talk about a very fascinating topic of how to think positively. Before starting this topic of positive thinking, I would like to ask you about the power of negative thinking, because actually we all of us see that there is lots of negativity in this world, and the power of those negative thoughts is very, very strong. So what do you feel? Which power is stronger, the power of negative thoughts or positive thoughts?
Before I talk about negative or positive thinking, I just wanted to mention that, there are different types of thoughts that runs on the screen of our mind during our lifetime constantly. It's good to identify all of them, so then we can understand the power of each one of them.
Okay.
Who is powerful, who is not powerful. From my experience, I find I can categorize the thoughts into 4 types of thoughts that comes on the screen of our mind constantly. One can be named as necessary thoughts, thoughts connected with our daily routine, normal duties. And the second type of thoughts are called unnecessary thoughts. In other words, you can call it as waste thoughts. And the third type of thought is what you said, negative thoughts. And the last one is positive thoughts. So first of all, I need to understand why certain thoughts are named in that way. Necessary thoughts are just normal. They're neutral, no plus or minus. Unnecessary thoughts are thoughts connected with the past, about the future, about other people, which I don't have any connection. It drains a lot of energy. And negative thoughts are thoughts of, fear, thoughts of guessing, suspicion, doubt, insecurity. And that is what, as you said, nowadays people experience that a lot. And then, of course, positive thoughts connected with peace and love and happiness, that gives us relaxation and feel lightness. So I need to understand these are the 4 types of thoughts clearly. And then when I am aware of myself as a soul, and when I observe these thoughts coming on the screen of my mind, then I have to keep my intellect awake. Then only I am able to discriminate one from the other. In fact, the power of negative thoughts don't have any power, but now they are more powerful because we have been empowering them all the time. And so we are disempowered from the positivity. We are creating mountain out of molehill.
Yes,
actually,
but this molehill becomes a mountain after that. It means that they are very powerful.
For example, fear.
Yes.
Anything that is called fear doesn't exist. It's our imagination. And that makes us feel so weak. Suspicion, guessing. Actually, this is our subconscious mind creating negative thoughts and making us feel weak. And so if I want to disempower negative thoughts, and I need to disempower negative thoughts before I begin to think positive.
I have to do it before I start thinking
No, actually,
positively.
if I can start thinking positive, I can disempower negative thoughts because I will be empowering myself. We already talked about, you become what you think. So if you are always thinking negative, you become a pessimist. You feel yourself in a prison of your own making. But if I have a choice, why not I choose to take the positive thoughts? Every time I have a negative thought, first of all, I must think opposite to it. So I disempower negative thought. For example, I have the thought, I don't want to do it now. I have the fear of being failure. So I tell myself, no, I am going to do it now. I am going to succeed. So every time a negative thought comes, practice to think opposite to that so that you begin to disempower your negative thoughts. And then I begin to create positive thoughts. In fact, there is a kind of, wrong opinion about a positive thinker. People feel that to think positive means running away from life. It's an escapism. It's not realistic.
Yes, exactly, because if I start thinking that, no, I will do it now, I can do it, but maybe I'm really weak, I have no power to do it now.
That is the wrong concept of those who think that positive thinking is not realistic. In fact, positive thinking actually prepares you to face life with courage. So I would say that positive thinking is not just putting on a smiling face and things are going wrong and I am saying everything is fine. No, that is not right. To think positive for me is, first of all, to look at the problems in my life not as a problem but as a challenge.
Okay.
That's one. Secondly, to think positive means to look at difficulties in life not as difficulties but as opportunity. Like, for example, a student, for him examination is the most difficult thing. So if he remembers that it is an opportunity to go further in his life, in his career, it's an opportunity for him to move forward. So that difficulty is not felt as difficult. It's my mental approach towards the situation. Or I would say positive thinking is not to react to people and situation instead of acting. What I mean is that, I can respond instead of reacting.
Okay.
So the difference between responding and reacting is, to react means to be emotional. Responding is thinking before acting. So you don't have to regret. And the most important definition to keep in mind about positive thinking is to have an optimistic outlook towards life. Because we have a choice, everything we see has two sides, bright side and a dark side. So I have to choose to see the bright side.
So it means that if I want to think positively, it's not just about some, exercise that I'm sitting and I'm creating some positive thoughts, but it's about changing my outlook.
Yes.
Changing my sort of philosophy of
even
life.
that, that changing my philosophy or outlook will be easy if I can discipline myself by sitting 10 minutes twice a day in one place and create a set of positive thoughts. That's the foundation. If I have done that exercise 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, that is going to help me to change my outlook towards life.
Didi, can you give us an example?
Okay,
of
for
what type of
example,
thoughts?
say I begin my day with one positive thought.
Okay,
I am going to be at peace with myself.
today.
Yeah, today.
Okay.
And then I practice the sequence of thoughts that is necessary to create that positive outlook. And then I begin my day. So I give you one practical example. There was one person who was traveling in the bus during the day. He's a positive thinker. So another person came to the bus and he asked him to move a little bit further, but he did not say anything else. But that person got so angry and upset. He began to shout and fight with him. So if he did not meditate in the morning, had that positive exercise, he could have reacted with him.
Yes.
But then because he had that positive power accumulated, that rescued him. So he did not react. He just became quiet. So the story ended there itself. Otherwise, it could have been a big fight. So the positive thinking that we practice every morning and the positive thought we wake up every morning with, it has lot of power. Because the first thought we will have is the foundation for the day. And so that positive energy rescues us in many situations.
Very often we get up in the morning and say to ourselves, oh God, yet another day ahead of us, and
Yeah.
we have so many problems to
Yeah.
solve
Yeah.
and so many difficulties to overcome. So it
we
means
don't
that-
need to
Yeah.
think of all those things,
Okay.
We can just start off with our day with one positive thought.
Oh, but it just comes to us.
No, now you have
We
to
open
practice.
our eyes and it comes to
Now
us.
you have to consciously practice it.
Okay.
So when I consciously practice it over a few days, it becomes my habit also.
Just a few days.
Yes, few days. Anything you repeat in your mind becomes your habit, your action. If you are taught to think about, I am a buffalo, after sometimes you feel like you have a buffalo and a big horn. And then when your father asks you to come out of your room, you say, no, I cannot come out because I have a big horn. Nothing you have actually. But because you have chanted that mantra over a period of time, you feel that you are that,
Because sometimes I feel that if I just repeat certain thoughts, that is not quite natural, It's just like I'm suggesting myself.
No, it's not
something which is not
repeating
true.
thoughts. It's not repeating thoughts. It's with realization. Knowing and realizing that I am a soul and soul is positive by nature.
Okay.
It's an energy. It's a positive energy. And so when I'm aware of that, automatically my thoughts will be based on that quality. And that is why I find that those who are thinking positive in this way, looking at every problem as a challenge, every difficulty as an opportunity, and being optimistic at all times, they are the most happiest people. And that's why I always say that positive thinking is the key to happiness. Because happiness does not come from what you have. It is coming from what I am. If I have a positive state of mind, I look at the bright side of things, I will be cheerful, I will be happy. Because my thoughts shows, as they say, mind is the, face is the index of your mind. So it reflects on your face. So that's why it is very important that I begin my day with positive thought, spend the first 10 minutes concentrating my mind, accumulate that positivity, and during the day use that positive energy to change your outlook towards your life. And in that way, I will empower myself. This is method for empowering the self to be an optimist, to be not to react, but to act at different situations.
I like it very much that you said that in order to start this process of positive thinking, I have to remind myself of my nature, that I, as a soul, as a spiritual being, am originally positive.
Yeah.
So even if now I have some negative thoughts or feelings, they are not original ones. And my original true self is positive.
Yeah.
So that makes sense for me, and that's very important.
And also, when you have that positivity towards yourself, you can actually, the effect of that thought comes on your body also. Because sometimes positive thinking works like medicine. Doctors can give you medicine, but if you don't have a right outlook towards it, it doesn't work.
Yes.
So I have seen many examples, those who are optimists, they help themselves to cure their sickness.
Okay.
Doctors can only treat the iceberg of the sickness. So I have to help myself. So positive thinking in a way works like medicine in different ways.
Is it some special technique of creating positive thoughts in order to get treated, to get well?
There is not only for getting well, but as I said, every morning you should sit and ponder on positive thought for 10 minutes.
Right.
So that is the time when I begin to create thoughts of my true self. Who am I? What am I? Where I have come from? Where I am located in this body? Why I am here? So that kind of positive thinking about myself.
Yes.
Like I am a soul, I am a point of light, I am seated in the center of my forehead, I am peace, I am love, I am happy. So when I begin to remind myself of my original thought and I hold the thought for a while, I become embodiment of that. I embody the thought myself. So when I begin to spend the day in my daily routine, it has an impact.
So when I do that sort of healing process in my body...
Yeah, it does work. It does work.
It happens automatically.
Yeah. It happens, not healing only my body, but it also helps me in healing my relationships also.
Okay.
Yeah, very much.
Sometimes, what happens in relationships, that people start thinking positively, which means that start smiling. They say that everything is for the benefit, everything is good. And this is what hurts other people. They start feeling that, oh, you don't feel really how many problems I'm going through right now. You are thinking
I don't
that
think
everything
they
is so
have to
easy.
say in words. That's the main thing. You don't have to describe in words when things are going wrong. You keep smiling, but you need to understand within yourself. Say, for example, you are driving the car, you met with an accident. So immediately the positive thinker will think, thank God, I was saved. No matter car is totally destroyed, but I'm saved.
I suppose this car belongs to another person sitting in the same car.
But even otherwise also, they would think,
car.
At least I am saved.
Okay.
So then immediately they will take the steps necessary. For example, they will have to call an ambulance, they will have to call a taxi, they will have to call certain people necessary. So their intellect works properly.
Because they create positive thoughts?
Yeah, they created that positive
their intellect
thought.
Works well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're able to face the situation with courage, not getting panicking. Otherwise, sometimes you can see people who don't master their thoughts, think positive, they get panicky.
Yes.
And they don't know what to do. And then the situation gets worse.
Yeah. And especially in relationships, when other people go through some difficulties, some pain. So we are positive, but how do we express that positivity in relationships so that not to hurt them, so that to make them feel that we do care, that we can sympathize with them?
At least we can give them moral support. So you can go physically to see them and then speak some words of they feel happy about, and also send good wishes through your mind. So in your presence, if they can feel empowered, so that's a great caring, I am not feeling sad because that person is going through. I have the understanding, but I cannot explain everything at that time because people will not be receptive.
No.
But I can give my good wishes. I can speak words that can console them, so they can feel that you care for them.
Right. You said that I can also do that, not being present physically, but sending my good wishes.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit more about this sending vibrations through our mind? How do we do it if there is no direct contact with that
it's
person?
Just like visualizing that person in front of you for a few minutes.
Okay.
And then just to immerse the feelings in your heart. Let this soul get well soon.
It reaches that soul?
Yeah, just whichever soul I am wanting to send the good wishes.
Yes.
I immerse the soul through the body and just create that thought.
Okay.
So let this soul get well soon and enjoy their life as usual. And then just I leave it there and then I just hold that positive thought for a few minutes so that the energy of that positive thought will touch their heart.
So this energy can travel?
It means it's like a vibration.
Okay.
Like, when you are thinking positive, the vibration that you are emitting is positive also. It's filled with peace, it's filled with happiness, it's filled with compassion, it's filled with power. So whoever is in need of whatever at that time, they catch.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have to understand, that every thought we have carries certain kind of vibration. And that can reach to people even 1,000 miles away, provided those thoughts are selfless. If I have any selfish motive, then the thoughts will get lost somewhere because of the polluted atmosphere. If my thoughts are genuine, I really want that person to get
The selfish motive means that, suppose I want that person to get well, because in that case, it will be good for me.
Because they are your relatives, they are your child, they may be your husband. So because of attachment, you want them to get well soon, so that is selfishness. But this is something I can do it selflessly to anybody.
And that's a very subtle difference.
Yeah, it's a great difference, because if there is selfishness, the purity in my thoughts is lost. If it is selfless, then it becomes pure thought and it can travel. It has no distance. And as the scientists have done this discovery that the velocity of thoughts are faster than even that of light. So far we were told that, the velocity of light, it travels faster, but now the power of thought, and especially positive thoughts, can travel in no time. But it has to be selfless.
Yes.
If
so
it is selfish, it doesn't work.
Yeah. And does it apply to sort of global problems like environmental problems or other problems?
But of course, we can do it in a very selfless way. If I'm alone doing it, it may not have such an impact. But if we are doing it in the form of a group,
Creating
in the form of a group of
like
similar thoughts, all are having at the same time, it will definitely have an impact. Environment also responds to our vibrations. Many times people think that plants also have souls. Plants don't have souls, but they respond to human thoughts vibrations. So that is why you find that, if a person is looking after the plant, is thinking positive, and looking after the plant, caring for it in a positive way, it grows faster. A same plant is looked after by a negative thinking person, it will die away.
I know two people.
Yes.
They live in the neighboring houses and flowers, everything grows so well in one house and everything is just like that in the other one. Yeah.
They also catch the vibrations of our thoughts. The chemicals respond to that. This is how we create environment, our thoughts creates vibration, and vibration creates environment, and we inhale that vibration. So if a person thinking negative can create a negative atmosphere, why I cannot create a positive atmosphere and destroy that negative atmosphere? It is possible. It's just like an incense stick. There is a bad smell somewhere.
Yes.
So you light one incense stick, it will chase away that bad odor and fill the room with that fragrance. So my positive thought has so much power that I can nullify, I can chase away the negative vibrations. It is possible, but it has to be constant. It must have power in it. Then it will change the whole atmosphere.
Thank you so much, Sister Mira, for this wonderful sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, today we had a very interesting conversation about the power of positive thinking. And we came to know that it all starts with our awareness. It all starts with our understanding and feeling and experiencing that we are souls, sentient beings whose original nature is positive. And it was also very interesting for me, and I'm sure for all the viewers, to know that if we have very pure and selfless positive thoughts, their energy can be transmitted. These vibrations, they travel and they can help other people, and they can help our entire planet to get better. So we are going to continue with these conversations. Our next episode will be dedicated to how we make our mind our best friend. And now, goodbye and see you later.
Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. ये ध्वनि मंगल ध्वनि है. Om Shanti Om. This sound is a sacred sound. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti.